Oh, it's the Shitcase Cinema.
I don't trust this forest.
Hello. Now, there's only one word that expresses my feelings on this movie. Well, there's actually quite a few single words that come to mind, such as lame, pathetic, awful. You get the gist. But I'm going to settle on wow. It's not a good wow. So the movie begins with a couple camping in the woods, nice tash, who get scared when they hear a noise. The acting on show from start to end is very inspiring stuff. Here's an example.
What was that?
Probably nothing more than some squirrels.
I don't know, it didn't sound like squirrels. Who's there? Is there someone in the trees?
Scared, they decide to leave, manage to get lost but bump into a forest ranger. Now, if you're some kind of detective in the making, you'll have worked out that from the title of the film, this is our killer.
You're lost. How will you find your way back?
I have a compass. See?
But you don't have a face.
Comedy gold. Nice shades too. Let's hear another gem from this goon.
I told him to put it out. It's not my fault.
Only you can prevent
Please, no.
forest fires.
So as you can tell, it's fast becoming a contest to see who can overact the worst. Seriously, it never stops. Moving on, we're introduced to the film's stock teenagers who are clearly closer to 30 than high school leavers.
School is over. It's a new chapter in our lives. We're adults now.
Naturally, their car breaks down and they decide to walk in search of help. Amazingly, the kids come across a house, even though they don't even call it a house.
There's a negative energy looming over this abandoned cabin.
Okay, so they let themselves into the empty house, have some beers and chill out before, oh no, a psychotic forest ranger appears at the door. Time for the killing to begin, I think.
Great. I think it's a police officer. Good evening, officer.
Good evening. Actually, I'm not a policeman.
No, you're just the shittiest actor I've seen since the last shitty actor I saw.
You can call me Ranger Dad.
So Ranger Dan casually tells them that there's a prowler on the loose and then leaves them alone, but listen to this as he departs. I'd say that's a huge nod to the Friday the 13th franchise. So Ranger Dan is driving around and suddenly his compass goes screw it and ends up meeting the actual Psychotic Forest Ranger.
Oh, it's you. You startled me for a moment.
I'm here to relieve you
Oh.
of life.
Now I don't know if it's the version that I possessed, but pretty much any signs of violence are non-existent. So I think Ranger Dan gets snapped in half, I guess, and dragged away. Oh dear, what a terrible shame. Hopefully the same happens to these four kids. Now this movie is very short, clocking in at 75 minutes, so there's a lot of laughs to be had in a short space of time. I do believe many of the laughs are intentional, with the filmmakers clearly very self-aware that they were making a movie that almost ticks off every horror cliche in the book, from cheesy acting, to so-called kids in the woods, to inventive kills. But like I just said, we don't really see any of those.
What's this?
I'll tell you what this film isn't though, it's no Grim Weekend, that's the ultimate slasher film in the woods. Even though they barely spend time in the woods and only 2 people die in the form of fake Bruce Campbell and the legendary Shitcase cinema goddess herself, Susan.
Wait, where's Susan? Can't find Susan. Susan. Let's go find Susan. Susan? We're looking for her. Susan!
You know, the tone and the horrendously campy acting reminds me of another unpolished gem I reviewed probably about 10 years ago called Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. Seriously, where do I find this garbage? That movie was made by one Brian Thompson who did almost everything on set.
Oh, yeah, keep those credits rolling, Brian, yeah.
Kind of like Neil Breen does in his movies, and it wouldn't surprise me if this was the same story in this film. Written, directed and produced by Brad Mills. You goon! Moving on, the kids are washing one another in a lake, just like another normal day, I guess, clearly. And one thing I'm going to bring in here is a little drinking game. Take a drink every time one of the moronic kids freaks out or says something to the effect of, "What was that?"
What is it?
Look, Chrissy! What is it? I think I just saw something. Where? Over there! Is someone there? Hello? Who's there?
Have fun with that. Say goodbye to your liver. This guy's always playing pranks on the girl, whether it be jumping out from a hiding place or jumping out of the water wearing a mask. One thing is certain about this guy. He's a fucking jerk.
Sure, he's a jerk. But that's why we love him. Isn't that right?
So they all get some much justified payback before suddenly they spot someone spying on them through the window.
Get back here, you pervert!
It's probably Brad Mills. So this pervert is chased through the woods for a while, and it turns out he's part of another group of apparent school kids.
So you guys don't live here?
Of course not.
Well, then what are you here for?
Why else?
I can just imagine Brad Mills saying, "Yeah, keep nodding, cut," but fails to cut at the end where the clown looks off camera. Look! Oh, Brad, what a filmmaker you are. I salute you. So now all the kids are sitting around a campfire getting drunk, and it's time for the Ranger to appear and work his magic.
I think this is sharper. It should do the trick.
But then we cut back to the kids sitting around spouting more nonsense and laughing at each other's random comments such as this.
I was the paranoid one. I was just about to say that.
Now here's my top 5, which could easily be 500, random bullshit moments. Number 1, what's with this sign? Turn back abandoned road. Abandoned one road? What? It doesn't even make any sense, just like the rest of this film. Number 2, now maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt that. But shouldn't directed come last? It does in every other film I've seen in my life. Oh, Brad, you anus. Number 3, news announcements on radio stations are always very informative.
Squirrels have been found in the woods arranged in satanic patterns that appear to indicate evil forces or even a cult of some kind.
I hate listening to this news.
I was really concerned about the squirrels, so seeing this at the end of the credits was a great relief. Yeah, I somehow powered through to the very end of this cinematic pile of sin. Number 4, the Psychotic Forest Ranger has written down what his gadgets are. I guess just in case he forgets what a shotgun, a compass or a bear trap is. No, it's not even a compass, it's a compass. Well, it's all okay now because I'd forget what a fucking compass is. Brad, learn to spell. Number 5, when your compass isn't working, compass isn't working, throw that sucker away and then march away into the woods like you know where you're going, like a true boss.
What is wrong with this stupid thing? Why don't you just rest here for a second? I'm gonna go find some water and cool off.
Here's another witty one-liner from our lovely Forest Ranger.
Well, don't worry, ma'am. I'll let you rest.
Thanks.
In pieces!
And if that wasn't enough, let's have another.
Sick piece of crap!
You shouldn't crack your knuckles. You'll get arthritis.
Here's another drinking game you can play. When this goon enters the picture, he claims to have everything in his car.
We're all out.
What? Don't worry about it. I got some in the trunk.
So, do you think you could help us get our car working?
Yeah, there's a 5-gallon can in my trunk.
We're all out of dish detergent.
I have some in my car.
So every time he mentions this kind of thing, take a drink. Seriously though, what a legend. Let's see him deliver in an Oscar-winning performance.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Wait a minute! You're in on the joke too!
Okay, big boy, that's enough. Let's see you perish. Wow, holy shit, I didn't expect this. He truly is a legend.
Come on! Come on!
Go on, lad. Busting out all the moves like he's in Mortal Kombat. Of course, nobody takes down the Psychotic Forest Ranger, and he throws a log, I guess, and it simply impales our wrestling king, but it doesn't show us anything, as usual. But enough of that bollocks, check this out. A cop rocks up to save the day. A cop with a tash.
Hold it right there!
So the 2 remaining kids warn the cop about the Ranger being the killer, and we get a little scuffle before the cop shoots the Ranger.
Scumbag.
What a powerful delivery. Only a cop with a tash can pull that out of the bag. Well done, lad. You can be a new Shitcase legend. Now, the final few minutes are proper mental. The cop gets blood in his eyes and gets killed by the Ranger. The kids run over the Ranger in a car. He's fine. The cop, who was dead, shoots the Ranger again. Then the kids make out in a car. The Ranger gets another car, and I guess they all blow up in a fiery collision. Oh, and then it ends showing Ranger Dan laying around hamming it up to the max.
The teenagers! The cops! They're all dead!
Why does he look like he's having an orgasm? This is disturbing.
Oh! The legend of the Psychotic Forest Ranger! It's real!
That's enough of this turkey. Thanks to Brad Mills, I've had my patience tested, my brain turned to mush. But I did laugh a few times at the absolutely inane acting, cliched storyline, and shoddy filmmaking. Ultimately, I suppose it's a deliberate cheesy love letter to 80s slasher films. Now, it's hard to give a score on this. Some may enjoy it, others would rather ram a pencil up their nose and into their frontal cortex. It's Christmas time, so I'm not going to give it a score out of 10. I'll just say what I did at the start of the video. Wow. As always, if you'd like to support the channel, there's the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below, and there's my books available on Amazon on download and paperback. So, thanks for watching, thanks for the support and the kind words as always from you loyal Shitcase Cinema fans, and I wish you all the best for the new year. Cheers.